We made a video. I'm finally going to be able to put some of those video clips up this week to show everybody. So that was really cool. I sent in and threw my hat into the ring to maybe co-host over on something with the ACA. So I'm hoping to hear back from them. You guys, we are 67% to goal now. Thanks to the Bible auction I did. That was so fun. We auctioned off Bibles that Justin signed.
I was watching that. I just saw that update. 67%. That's and I was looking at the stats on that PC and I was like, damn, okay. Get it, girl.
Right. I got one that is really powerful, so I don't have to fucking like next year go, oh shit, I need to update again. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be powerful enough that I can handle it, you know?
What you're looking at is going to be good for years. And like, even if you needed to update it, it's going to have the updated motherboard. Right. So you could even like update. You're not going to need to. Like for instance, my little gaming PC that I just got you up streaming is a few years old, and it has the previous motherboard that has DDR4 memory. Yours will have DDR5. So you're like future proofed.
Right. That's what I was trying to do because like first of all.
Hi, Jerry.
Obviously it's way more expensive than it was when I first wanted it because of all the tariffs and stuff. But I'm not going to change it to a cheaper one because I do not want to suddenly be like, okay, next year I got to start over. I've got to, try to get a better one. And you guys don't know this, but Benny is the one who like helped me come up with all the specs I would need for this because, he knows what I'm trying to do over here. I am an affiliate over on Twitch. There's no reason I shouldn't be streaming over on Twitch. Okay. I'm already an affiliate there. I'm almost to monetization on YouTube. And I'm not even up on YouTube yet on my channel because I have problems with it every single time. To be almost to monetization on YouTube when you are literally not consistent is crazy. Like it means that people do want to watch me. I'm just not up there enough for them to see. So
it's a quality
Benny
thing
really
too.
helped me.
Yeah, like I've noticed that like YouTube will push your algorithm out if you have like certain bit rates. Like if you're just over a certain amount of bit rate, it won't push. If you're within a certain amount, it will push. I've been like doing little testing and stuff. So we'll have to, once you get the PC, like smirkle back around to it. I don't know why I said smirkle, but
I like that word. We will smirkle around and get back and look at my analytics and analyze those analytics.
This is a tangent, but so smirkle is actually a joke because Seth had this friend at work and they used to always do like little like how to set goals for yourself, and they called them SMART goals, and which are like they're like something achievable, repeatable, like it's SMART. But this guy would always say like, oh, I love setting my smirkles, and it sounded like he was saying smirkle. And so like ever since then we like made this joke like we'll smirkle back around, and I don't know, it is a kind of a fun word. DDR is not Dance Dance Revolution though.
Yeah, what is DDR? I forget what it stands for. You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now while we're mentioning this. Whenever Robot Goat asks Christian, okay, so what does DNA stand for? I think, don't ever fucking ask me that question because I do not care enough to memorize it. I know that it's dioxygenation. I don't remember.
It's deoxyribonucleic acid, which is different from like mRNA, which is mitochondrial ribonucleic acid, or RNA is ribonucleic acid. I actually was pre-med in college, so I did take a lot of like DNA and genetics classes. So I do know a little bit about that stuff. And I know that Robot Goat, they have
They are a biologist.
Yeah, they have a
Did I
biology
call her?
degree. Yeah, that's
If I
awesome.
misgendered them, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't. But yeah, they are a biologist. They fucking know their shit, and I
Yeah.
don't know my shit.
DDR.
Okay,
Let's look it up though. What does it mean? Because I
why
don't know
won't
either.
my
Double data rate.
OBS?
I don't know what that means either. Double data rate just means improves efficiency by transferring data. So what DDR, like, I do know it's RAM, so that's random access memory. So the way that like I would like explain it to a person is it's like your short-term memory. So RAM is like it'll hold like website cookies, or it'll like hold like a little program kind of in that short-term memory, so it's easier to grab than that long-term memory, which is your like hard drive, where like everything's kind of held, and that would be like your long-term, like all of your memory, like in your brain. If that makes any sense to anybody listening.
I don't know why my OBS will not capture my window. Sometimes like I'm trying to
So in the
capture
source,
the audio,
the audio,
the audio, but and it's the beta is you know how you have to choose
yep.
capture audio beta or whatever. That's selected
Go to your audio mixer
on OBS.
on OBS. Yeah, there's should be an audio mixer.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Do you see one that's like titled the same as your like window?
It's titled desktop,
That one would work too, possibly.
and it's not doing anything. And usually it does. So like it'll just every once in a while it just will not. Yeah, it's like beta, like the fish, Robin. And
Do you see one for like Chrome or like whatever window? Like
I'm using Edge, and yes, I do
Edge.
see one for Edge.
Does that have a little bouncy color?
No, it's not bouncing. It's just sitting there.
Okay.
It has a thing to bounce, but it's
Edge,
not bouncing.
On
Hey,
Edge,
Mama Cat.
check on the browser. Are you muted on the browser? Like if you go.
All right, how do I check?
Like if you go.
All right, how do I check?
Whatever. I do need to design, I guess. I'll see what it starts doing. I don't know why it's acting like that. Oh, that's just.
Up on the other Microsoft Edge. I don't know why my dog is going crazy. There we go. We're back up.
It's not.
All right. So on yours, now what you would have to do is flip those two numbers. Do you see where it says 1080 by 1920?
Yeah, but I did that before and it was still horizontal. Okay, I'm
So
going to show you
make
afterwards.
it so it's 1920 by 10. Yeah, you would have to shut the stream down in order to change it.
Right. So
I
I'll
have you
show
on
you.
vertical.
Okay.
But that's how you do it is you would write 1920 then x 1080 and it should make it vertical. I'm trying to think there's another way in YouTube that like will do a like it'll make like a crop, like it automates it with AI somehow, and it'll also like it'll like double stream where they could choose between vertical and horizontal. But I
Okay.
like to just have vertical in OBS because that will push it out better.
Yeah, what I want to do when I get the new computer is I want to just stream in vertical and horizontal, and just That's it.
Yeah, there's add-ons, or we can, get you hooked up with Stream Elements or something that'll allow you to do that. But yeah, you got to have a pretty good processor and video card to be able to do both, because what it's doing is it'll push it both out, but it's got to do it like double the work than what it's doing right now.
Right.
Good Lord, my dog is freaking the freak out.
That's why I try to tell people are like, I have people come in here all the time. How much money do you make doing this? I'm not a rich woman. I don't get rich from doing this, but people do support my show, and I appreciate the support so much, because it's not cheap to get the equipment you need in order to stream it and to pay for the software each month. Like, I have to pay for I'm going to sit down today and see if I can consolidate some of my software choices to maybe a suite with a Photoshop or Adobe or something, because I have CapCut, I have Canva, I have, photo software, I have this, I have that. And now I want something that does transcripts so I can make better clips so that I can, promote myself better. And it's always something. It's always something. I never knew I was going to need to learn all this.
I know. It's I like Adobe Suite. I get it with my work. Hold on. I think I got something outside, and that's why my dog's freaking out. I got a new Apple Watch so I can watch my heart rate better.
Oh, that's good.
Let's look. Oh my gosh. But
you guys, we're gonna have an unboxing.
Yeah.
Let's do an unboxing.
FedEx guy's here. Did I have to sign for it? Yeah. Okay. This is live, guys.
This is cool. This is riveting. Let's put him on big screen. You guys, this is riveting. This is the high production value you expect from my shows.
Let me flip my thing here. It's really nice.
That sponsor up there. We are sponsored by Adidas. No, we're not, you guys. I'm just kidding.
Not
Don't fucking add that to me, TikTok. I wish I had Adidas money. Adidas. I get told by my friends in the UK that we don't say it correctly. It's not Adidas. It's Adidas.
All right, let me sign for this. Sorry, I'm on a call.
You guys, screenshot his signature so we can forge it later, you guys. Make sure you got... Oh, it's not on screen. Damn it. I was hoping we could forge it later.
Yeah, thank you. How many jets do I have? Okay.
Well, do you have a hot tub? If you have a hot tub, you probably have a lot of jets.
I wish I had a hot tub. No, I don't have no hot tub.
I have a hot tub.
You
Someday,
do?
Seth and Benny are going to come visit me in California, and they're going to hang out in my hot tub, swim in my pool, look at my view, and then they'll realize I actually live in a shitty town, but I just have a really pretty house with a pretty view.
Yeah,
that's okay, because I like my house.
I really want to. I wanted to come out when the meetup was going on.
Was here. Yeah,
I know, and we were in Vegas the weekend before.
Close too. So close.
So much was happening though. It's just been crazy.
I know.
But okay, get me off the big one. Let's try to get some people in here. Let's get some conversations with Christians.
Okay, let's go. You guys, there's only 9 of you in here. I hate to do a restart. I don't know if it would help at all, because this is how I started my live today. I don't know if I'm being suppressed a little by the TikTok gods because I say things like motherfucker a lot or something. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I have learned that we cannot say INCEL. You can't call people that, because that gets me in trouble every fucking time.
Really?
Yes. Every time I say it, I get booted. I'll be on somebody's panel and I will say it and I get booted. I mean, like they get a restriction because of me. Hey, Noah's Lions, how are you?
So let's see. Was the
Yeah,
world
they
perfect
don't like
before the
it.
fall? What is your philosophy on God? And what does Christianity offer women? The last question's nothing, honestly. Like, if anything, Christianity offers women maybe a weird, like, subservient purpose. Uh, like that's the only thing that I would consider. Like, I don't understand why the like hierarchy of things is like God, the husband, and then the wife. You know, like even in like the Paulian
Okay.
type of like Christianity. So
Right.
uh, I don't
Yesterday,
understand.
we learned that from three men that I should that what Christianity has to offer women, and the first thing was that Jesus came from a woman. So did I.
Um, yeah,
So did I.
yeah.
Anyway, so that was something. The second thing was that Jesus talked to Mary like an equal, Mary Martha's sister,
Okay.
while she was at his feet, kneeling at his feet. He spoke to her like an equal, and he used her name. I was supposed to remember that too. He used her name. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
something. That's something.
Yeah, really good. I mean, even like that is still like okay. That's not a good offering here. I still don't see where women are. I think there's like a mention that like it was in the ESV. They changed it. There was a video that I had watched by I can't remember who on YouTube. Somebody really like broke down like all the different translations, like the ESV, the NRSV, and everything, and like how uh like they kind of inserted the patriarchy into Christianity a little bit more than what was initially there, I guess. Like
Mm-hmm.
before the ESV was
Absolutely.
being like pushed out, and that was more in the like whenever the ESV came out, which was I think in the 50s or something.
Yeah.
And that is the ESV is like the most like distributed version of the Bible. Uh,
Oh, I
so
didn't know that.
I think like that's the one that
That
at
might be
least like
true. I didn't know
the
that.
Gideon.
I thought it would be King James for some reason.
Yeah, you know, you might be right, but I think like the Gideon's version is like the ESV, so that I guess that maybe that's why I think of
Oh,
it as like the most
that's
distributed.
probably then that's probably true because they, distribute it, everywhere. The third thing I was told is that Christians gave women equality. At the same time, he told me that men give women equal rights and basically that he's above me. So while telling me that Christianity gave me equality, he basically told me I'm not equal and I don't have equal rights.
So you're equal, just less equal. Like
Yeah, he's saying that equal rights don't actually they're
equivocate.
not equal to being equal. Like, yeah, equivocate to me having equal rights is not the same as me being equal to you. So, while I
Okay.
still
So
don't
what the
have
hell does it
equal
mean?
rights, I
Yeah.
don't know. I keep trying to tell people, you can be different and still be treated equal. Like I can be different than you and still be treated equal as you. Because let's face it, we are all different. There's no two of me anywhere in the world.
Right. Like I don't understand how uh that's not like an understood point to them. Like you can be different, you can be treated equal, you can have the same, like there's also like equitable, there's equity. So like
Right.
yeah, there's things like women physically, are different than men, like they have wombs, men have balls. But there's things that you can do to like make up or like equalize those planes. And like in the eyes of God, you would think that that would also be done. Like why is it that
And
women
then
are burdened with childbirth, for instance? Like I don't know, like I don't understand that. Like why not men? Why can't men
I don't
have
either.
wombs?
Right. And why isn't that seen as something superior to men? If men can go, well, we are stronger, okay, and I don't feel as much pain as you do, which makes me think you're kind of weaker. Actually, just because you can lift things that more than some women doesn't mean you're actually have the same kind of strength, because I can take more pain than you can. So in one way, I'm stronger.
That's
And
so
let's
true.
not forget, right? I'm sorry. It's just, did you know that there's a recent study out? I really should find this study. They did a study and found out that because of the pain differences in men and the way pain receptors work, all of the studies that they've done for pain relief has been on men basically. And so when women are telling doctors and stuff that this ibuprofen isn't working for me, we're not fucking lying. It doesn't work.
Right.
They found out in studies that we're telling the truth, that the pain receptors work differently in women.
It's even
And
so
they're
much
now
more.
starting to realize.
Yeah, like it goes even further than that. Like I know that uh genetically like redheads have a different pain
Yeah.
tolerance. I can't remember if they feel pain more or less, but I know that they have a different pain tolerance. So there's things to look at, that are unanswered within our DNA that we can't just say it's a flat thing across the field, and
Right, right.
again, it proves to me a little bit more that like the whole design aspect is not really there because it's a mess. It's such a mess, and I feel like if a god designed us, they would not make it so hard to figure these things out. Like if you
Right?
truly love,
Right?
if you love your creation, why would you make it so hard for them to survive and thrive? Uh, is it like some sick test? I don't get it.
Hey, Noah, how are you?
I just connected. Guys, can you hear okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
All right, cool. I was invited up. I wasn't sure if somebody had a question or
Oh, maybe Robin invited you.
but as far
My
as
mods do that.
as far as the pain receptors in redheads, to metabolize a lot of anesthesia a lot faster, so they often require a lot more. And redheads often have issues with like dental anesthesia too, so they'll need like more lidocaine, or maybe it doesn't even work. Um, but in the anesthesia world, it's pretty common. Like they'll indicate on your paperwork if you're a natural redhead, and then they'll calibrate that into their measurements. So if that answers that
Yeah, my
topic you were talking about.
my, my daughter is a redhead, and so yeah, it's that is all very true. And when you have medical professionals who don't know these things, it kind of sucks because they think you're fucking crazy when you tell them these things. Because I'm sorry, sometimes nurses, doctors, and physical PAs, they don't always know some of these things, so we have to let them know.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think educating the newer generation of providers is one of the one of the goals we can
Yeah,
move towards, or one thing we can do to help that disparity.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
feel
And
like
people don't realize. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Benny.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, being aware of things like that make
I'm gonna
such
mute you. No, that's kind of noisy. I can't hear Betty. Go ahead, Betty. I'm sorry.
like being aware of such things like that, like how women are treated in the medical like field, especially Black women, and just like the inherent biases that we have, and to like also like let down our defenses, like as men, especially to understand that misogyny might not be a personal thing. Like it's not my fault that I'm misogynist, you know, like it's just the system that I was brought up in, you know, like these are things that, you know, through education and growing up, like you just are implanted with. And it goes even further into how the medical field works. And being aware of the misogyny helps you stop and pause and listen and maybe consider like, okay, she's telling me that this ibuprofen that I know would work for me is not working for her, and maybe we should look into that, you know, stuff like that. It's just being aware and
Yeah.
like pausing it's not personal, it just like
You know,
understanding it.
recent years, Doug has started to see the the way I'm treated compared to men. Like he really didn't get it because a lot of times, you know, he would be working when I would go to the doctors when, you know, and stuff. But now that we're older, if we can, we go to the doctors together because as you get older, the shit gets more serious, people. So we're there to support each other, right? So, you know, a couple of years ago, we were in Florida. We were having the fucking time of our lives. I've told you guys before, my daughter-in-law is a doctor. So when she goes to medical conventions, a lot of times she will fly me and my husband out to meet her to just hang out while she's at the medical convention. And so we met her in Florida and we, you know, were just drinking, hanging out by the pool. And my husband says, we've been drinking all day and I cannot go to the bathroom. I think I need to go to the emergency room. Like, I think there's something wrong. And
Yeah.
so we took him to the emergency room and he had he had a kidney stone and he was in so much pain. Like he was, you know, like about to like, cause he hadn't peed either. So he, you know, he is in so much pain and I'm afraid that, you know, something is going to happen. So I go in and tell the doctors like, you know, he has high blood pressure. This kind of pain can cause other issues. Like we need to get him a catheter in there. He has not urinated. And my daughter-in-law is a nephrologist. So she's right there with me, you know, using her nephrology language and stuff to convince them to get him in there. And they get him in there and they get him in there and they give him a private fucking room with a view. Okay. This room was like so big, you guys, like half my house. I'm not even kidding. It was so big. It had a couch that pulled out into a bed for me. And he was in there for a few days. They gave him laser surgery. They did all this stuff. Fast forward a couple of years later, and I have a kidney stone. And I go to the doctor. And just so you guys know, for me, when I'm in severe pain, I do not scream. I do not cry. I am very quiet. Actually, I don't want to fucking talk at all. Do not fucking talk to me when I'm in pain. Because if something comes out of my mouth, it's going to be vile and vulgar. So I try to just shut up. Okay. And I want to curl up into the fetal position and just die is what I want to do when I'm in that kind of pain. So when I went to the doctor, he goes, on a scale from 1 to 10, what is your pain level? I'm like, it's 10. Or I wouldn't even be here is the reality. Hang on.
Right. And
I'm sorry.
that
I got
pain,
a puzzle.
that pain
Yeah. So
scale should be like taken very seriously. If you say 10, like even if you're lying, like they usually the pain scale is meant to be like you still like take it very seriously. There you go. What's going on? You look concerned.
I'm getting I got a restriction because I said that's what I want to do. I want to curl up in the fetal position. So for some reason it thinks I want to do self-harm. That's not what I'm saying, TikTok, you idiots. I'm saying that when I'm in pain, it feels that bad. So anyway, I don't give a fuck about the restriction. It's there for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm telling this doctor this, and he goes, ma'am, if you were in that kind of pain, you would be screaming and crying on the floor. And I go, no, you would be. That's what you do when you're in that kind of pain. And I was telling another doctor this like a few months later, a woman doctor, and she goes, that's right, he would be, okay?
Yeah,
But
right,
women are
exactly.
not the same. Right? That's what you would do, sir. That's not what I do when I'm in pain. First of all, I'm a woman, and second of all, I don't scream and cry. I just get very quiet, and the quieter I am, the more pain I'm in. That's all it means, you know? So he didn't take me serious. He sent me home, and I had to pass that thing all on my own. No pain relievers, nothing. My husband was pissed. He was like, I get a private room. Then when I tore my rotator cuff, it took me 2 years to get an MRI and get the surgery. He says the men at his work have a problem. They go in, it's fixed within a few weeks. He goes, I don't see people go through this. That's because I'm a woman. I'm a woman. They do not care about whether I'm healthy or not. They do not fucking care.
Yeah, and
they don't take me serious. They don't take my pain serious. They don't take, and I haven't been wrong about anything. When I said before they ever did a x-ray or MRI, I said I tore my rotator cuff. How do I know? Because I have the symptoms, okay? I have a torn meniscus right now. I can't get an MRI for that either. I'm fighting my fucking doctors for a torn meniscus right now. I'm very serious.
I don't understand why that is so hard.
First they did the ultrasound. They found out there is no DVT, so we knew that because I couldn't even walk at one point, okay? Then they did an x-ray. They said you have some arthritis, but arthritis isn't going to make it so you literally can't walk. Like you can't walk right now. This is not the kind, your arthritis isn't that severe, right? So we need an MRI. Well, the doctor, when they send in for a request for an MRI, they are supposed to tell the insurance company everything they've done thus far. And my doctor never does because he doesn't give a fuck whether I get that MRI or not. He's not advocating for me. So I have to fight every fucking time and say, okay, my insurance company denied it because you haven't told them that you did the ultrasound and the x-ray already. And I don't know why I have to tell you to do that.
Yep. And
if it was a man, you would have done it.
That's insane. Like, there's a whole nother problem with insurance and how they just like automatically deny everything. But like,
it's true.
How a doctor, if I were a doctor, I would not want to have the hassle of having to explain myself twice. If I order for an MRI and then I don't do all the things for it, then I'm just giving myself double the work. And it's just like...
And you know what he's making me do? He's making me come back into the office before he will go tell them what he's already done so I can get the MRI he's already requested. So I have to come back in and grovel at him to get it. I want to change doctors. In case y'all don't know, that's a big hassle too when you have insurance, okay? My husband goes, you need to change doctors. I go, I know I do, okay? But it's really hard, especially when you're in the middle of dealing with a medical issue. Like when you're in the middle of it, then I also have to get all of that transferred to the new doctor and kind of start all over again. And I hate doing that because I've been going through this for months already. And he goes, well, I've just found 3 doctors. And I go, honey, you haven't found 3. You found 3 that say they take Cigna, okay? Right. Now what you have to do is call each of those doctors and see if they're even taking new patients. And then if they are, you have to contact Cigna and have them switch your doctor and your medical group. And then you have to contact your old doctor, get all your medical records, and then you have to take those over to your new doctor. And then you start the whole process over. And he's like, Oh, okay. I thought you could just call and pick a new doctor. No, you can't. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and it leads back to honestly, like, and I don't know if this is like how people just understood the scripture, but like it leads back to, you know, this like kind of like Christian patriarchy like style of how we treat each other. And, you know, like honestly, this like trust that we put in you know, like men or like doctors or people of you know, like power. It's all about
Yeah.
faith, you know, and like just giving that blind faith, that easy faith that people give to religion. They also give it to their doctors. They'll give it to their bosses, you know, and like they may not even like second guess it. And I
No,
don't know,
I
like
know. And I think about that
it's
all the time.
so frustrating. Yeah.
Do you know how many people get denied an MRI and then never ask why or try to get it again and go on with their injury or their ailment because they don't know that they can fight for it? They don't know that they what it takes to do that, or some of them don't have the mental fortitude to fight for themselves. I don't know how many of you have ever been so depressed that you can't pick up the phone to call your doctor to tell them that you're depressed.
Well,
But that's how bad it is. And I thank God, well, not God, well, don't thank him.
right.
But thank myself that I have the fortitude to fight for myself. But sometimes I don't. It takes a lot for me to get to, like, it took me 5 years to finally call my insurance company and say, why can't I get tested for ADHD? And they said, you can. We totally cover it. And that's how I found out my doctor was denying me for no reason. And he was a man. He was a man. Denying me my ADHD testing, telling me it wasn't covered when it was the entire time.
It's so frustrating. And I have like I think on my TikTok there's one where I was talking about when I first was trying to get testosterone and just how hard it was to call all these different places and insurances and all these things, and just like when you are the one that is sick too, like, and you have to also advocate for yourself,
Yeah.
and you are, especially like me, like as a man, you know, I can, I have privileges. I recognize them, and like to even imagine what it is like for like a woman to have to do that too, and like fight for themselves. They're always fighting. It's just so tiring. I just wish that at the very least, the insurance companies or healthcare providers, or you know, in a number of different fields, that we had like positions like for just advocates. Like when you get entered in as a patient, you are given like an agent or an advocate that follows you along your way, you know, and make sure that, you know, like you are getting to the goals. And I don't understand like why that's not more of a thing. It would give people jobs.
Yeah.
It's just, but like
Yeah.
again, it's this old school type of thinking of like, you know, the doctor knows best, you know, or whatever. Just, I guess, you know, whatever the doctor says, and if you don't look into it, then uh, it'll stand out in freaking limbo, basically, until you look into it again yourself, because the doctor certainly isn't going to. Not to mention, they're usually like booked. You know, they say they're booked like completely, but they're working part time or whatever it is. And
Yeah. Golfing.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. But to like have that uphill battle is so frustrating and so demeaning, and it's like that's the fight that like I feel like we are, it's all connected. I don't know, to me like it
It
still
really
feels
is.
like and it's really rooted in, I think, like this American Christian like kind of just faith based lifestyle, where it's just oh, God's got it, you know, and like if I'm a good person or a good Christian, then I'll be fine. Or uh, this man who's a doctor, God wanted him to be a doctor, so you know, like, and
Yeah.
all the privilege that he was given and everything, like that was God given. So everything that he's doing, our president is God divined or anything like that. You know, it's just it falls
I'll tell
back
you,
on that.
the doctor I had yesterday, he really made me feel very good and very hurt. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'll tell you a funny story. Years ago, and this is a true story, I had an OBGYN whose name was Michael Jackson. That's a true story. That is true. And he, one day I went in to see him for some issues that I was having. I'm just going to tell you because men need to start hearing what women's issues are and they need to stop being grossed out by it. And we need to stop thinking that men can't handle it.
If they can,
Women
if
are
they can have an
supposed to,
opinion, yeah. If they feel like they can have an opinion on
yeah.
abortion and things,
So here's what you guys should know. Women should be bleeding once a month. They should bleed for, anywhere from like 3 to 7 days, and at different amounts, okay? But I was having what is known as menorrhagia. I was having heavy bleeding and frequent bleeding. That meant that I was having large amounts of clotted blood, and I was having 2 periods a month. Okay. I had no break from hormones whatsoever. It was just horrible. It was exasperating being me. And so I went to the doctor, and the first thing they check for is uterine cancer. And hang on, I'm going to tell you the actual names of these procedures, okay? Because they're important. So there's 2 type of procedures you can use to find out, to get a biopsy from a woman's uterus, okay? Maybe he didn't give me the one. Oh, he kept the one that I'm not doing. Oh, I don't know what it's called. It's a type of biopsy where they go in with no anesthesia through your cervix that is closed, okay? Our cervix is always closed until we give birth. That's why you hear how dilated we get. That's our cervix opening up, okay? Mm-hmm. But it's always closed otherwise to protect us from infections. And they go in through your cervix and then take a part of your uterus, take a part of your uterus, frankly. And it hurts. It hurts really bad. So I go in to the doctor and I tell him, and he goes, okay, you need a biopsy. And I think, okay, well, I'm going to go schedule it. And he said, no, we need to do it right now. Get up on the table. We're going to do this thing. He doesn't tell me that it's going to be painful. He doesn't tell me that I have other options. He doesn't tell me anything. He just tells me I'm doing this. It was so fucking painful. And you bleed afterwards. I didn't bring anything. I wasn't on my period. I didn't have anything with me. So I have to tell him now, like, do you have something? And he's like, right. Well, yes, of course. And he was so like kind of snotty about it too, like I should know that or something. I don't know. I felt humiliated. I was in pain. I know, motherfucker. I will not. He went too when he did it, and I don't know why he did that, Benny. Why? He started moonwalking around the room afterwards, like he was celebrating. No. Anyway, so I went out to my car and I was crying, and I called Doug, and he was like, "Do you want me to come get you?" And I said, "No, I just want you to know why it's going to take me a little while to get home. I'm in a lot of pain." This doctor yesterday, he goes, there are 2 ways to handle this biopsy. The first one is so painful that I do not recommend it. And I asked him, I go, is this the procedure? And he goes, yes. And I said, that's what I had to go through. He goes, I am so sorry you went through that. And I am so sorry he didn't tell you it was painful. And I'm so sorry that, you know, like I don't recommend it. And he like held my hands and looked me in the eye and apologized for what I'd been through. And I had never felt so heard by a male doctor in my life. So instead, I will be having a hysteroscopy, I think is what it's called, and I will be under anesthesia when they do the biopsy. So
Local, or are they going to put you out?
I know. I gotta be put
Not
out.
sure.
That's how painful this is.
Okay,
That's how
so
fucking painful
wow.
this is. They knock your ass out.
Damn.
You know? And I'm like, thank you. Because it
Right.
hurts. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this either. One time I went I was giving birth to one of my children, and they had a doctor there who was following around my doctor. So, you know, he was a little intern doctor or whatever. And so my doctor had told me ahead of time, there's an intern here following me around. Is it okay if I have him do some of the procedures and stuff this today? And I had obviously been seeing my doctor for 9 months. So I already had a relationship with my doctor. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I think it's important that I help when I can with medical students. My daughter-in-law is a doctor. There's no way for them to get the education if we don't say okay to doing things like this. So to me, it's important that that doctor learns, and he's being supervised by my doctor. So I'm like, yeah, he could do some of the procedures today while I'm giving birth.
Yeah.
So he comes in and he goes, okay, I'm going to check your cervix, but don't worry, this isn't going to hurt because you don't have any pain receptors on your cervix. I go, what did you just say to me? I was like, wait, what did you just fucking
don't
say
tell
to
me what I do and do not feel.
And he gets really, really quiet. And I said, you know what? I just want you to know that I have invented a new machine that helps us detect testicular cancer. It's just like the mammogram machine, but it's for your huevos, okay? And all the nurses started laughing and everything. I said, you don't tell women that they can't feel their cervix. I really hate that. That's like the dumbest thing men have ever said. Of course I can fucking feel my cervix. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah,
Yes, I
don't-
can feel my cervix.
I don't know how a man, like, honestly, I don't know.
That's a doctor.
Yeah.
I
Doctors
know.
are
To be
weird.
fair, Jesse, he can't feel his. He
Well-
can't feel his. Hey, Robin, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. Just 1 second.
Yay.
I'm gonna turn off my camera just because I'm going to mess around with this Apple Watch thing that I got. Because I want to make
You have to
sure.
show it to us real quick, though. Hold
I
it up and
will.
show us how pretty it is.
So
I want to see it.
it is the Series 10. They had like a really good deal for Mother's Day. It might still be going on through Verizon. It's the silver.
I'm Android. I want to find a decent Android watch, though.
I think Android has like a better like option, I think, for watches, but like this is the watch itself. I don't know, the lighting in here is not so great. Hey Siri, turn on the Aurora.
Very cool.
And
Very
it came with
cool.
this little purple. It looks like a purple watch band, but I'm gonna get like a leather, like a brown leather, so like it'll have like the kind of chrome with the brown leather, and I think that'll look kind of nice, you know. Because
Yeah, that'll look sharp.
mine's old and it dies like very quickly, and I need it to take my vitals while I'm sleeping. So
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
absolutely. Hey, Courtney. I see you. I see you sliding through. All right.
Hello,
Robin, what's
everybody.
new with you? What you got for us today?
Well, I want to say, before I requested up, for like the longest time, you were frozen. I couldn't hear anything, and it looked like you were one of those kids that had their head in the corner because it looked like you were just like facing down. So I was just tippy tap. I was being a tap warrior, and I was just spreading out the shares, being like, I wonder when things are going to come back on. And then I was like, you know what? I think I have to join for this to get fixed. I'm surprised it worked.
That is wild.
TikTok's been
That
weird,
is
and
wild.
it did do something earlier on because the like live and that's around the same time that like when I was casting it to YouTube, it like froze and went to the other live. It almost like looked like your live must have dropped. TikTok has been on one lately. That's all I'm just gonna say.
It has. It's been
Also,
crazy.
I
Hey, listen, the
accidentally,
Blazer over on. Oh, go ahead, Robin.
I was gonna say, I accidentally invited Noah's Noah's Lions up here
Oh,
earlier, and I was like, "Oh, whoops, my bad. I didn't mean to do that." And then I saw that she was up here, and I didn't even hear her talk. So, but yeah, that was my mistake.
oh, well, I was nice that Noah came up because Noah had more information about redheads and pain and how it affects them with anesthesia and so forth.
Oh
So
my
that was
gosh,
good. The
Crystal,
Blazer over on
I was gonna say
what?
after this, you're gonna have to give me the cliff notes of what she said, or you know what, Noah,
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you because I need to ask about that. My boyfriend's a redhead, and I want to know.
Yeah, it's true. I have a redheaded daughter, and they're they have an aversion to anesthesia. A lot of times it doesn't work on them, or they need more than average people do. And they also have a different pain tolerance. I believe that they can tolerate more pain, I believe, than most people. DeBlazer over on YouTube says, "Hey, how are you? This randomly popped up, and I like hearing other perspectives. So, what is your philosophy on God?" My personal philosophy on God is that God is a term that people use so loosely that I am absolutely ignorant to what it really means. I have found that people can believe in the same God and yet attribute totally different characteristics to that God. People can believe in gods that are just, just infinitely apart from each other. Some people believe that everything is a god, including the shit on the bottom of your shoe when you step in dog shit. And to me, that's kind of a weird thought. There are other people who use the word God to mean the universe when I don't know. I think we already have a word for the universe. So why are we calling it God? So to me, I am what's known as an theist. I'm ignorant to what the word God really means because I can't narrow it down enough. I haven't been able to figure it out.
I love that term, and I sort of identify with it. I have been like kind of like figuring out like am I agnostic, am I atheist, ig theist, or like agnostic, but I usually just go with like whatever people are used to, so I'll just tell them, yeah, I'm an atheist or whatever. But I love that you like take the
Right.
time to like explain that, because it's such an important thing to me that people stop and consider like, oh yeah, what is like God? What is a or like what is a demon even?
Right.
Like, are
What are
demons
these
just,
things?
are they like actual creatures? Are they spirits? Are they bad thoughts? Are they all of them? I really want to do that one time on a live, just like ask people like, what is a demon? I had one that was like, what is God, or who is God to you? Because I think that that's an interesting notion. To some people, yeah, God is this like celestial everything everywhere. Others, it's a man with a beard that they talk to, in their
Yeah.
head or otherwise. And others, it's like just time and energy and like matter and the universe.
Hi, Hypnotize says, I think agnostic atheist is clearest. Agnostic in I don't know for sure, atheist in I don't believe. And I think that you can be an agnostic atheist and be agnostic as well. The thing is that whatever we do, I don't believe that there is anybody can prove a God exists or prove a God doesn't exist unless you believe that gods are just human beings with no supernatural powers. In case, like, if you just believe that's what a god is, I think it's weird to say that that's a god, because I think a god should have an actual definition, but because we just use it so loosely, we can't give it one. Some people say God simply means creator, but other people say that that's not true. I don't know. I because of the many definitions, I don't really believe that there's any reason to believe in any of them. Frankly, none of them have shown me that there's any reason to believe in them or
Right.
worship them.
Well, like,
Crystal's heard my thoughts, but I can share mine if she's interested, if the chat
please,
wants to hear it.
Absolutely.
please do.
So, I am a Buddhist agnostic atheist. I find
I'm
the
gonna just turn
idea of
around.
a
I'm listening.
okay. I find the idea of a supreme creator deity preposterous. I think that all things come from dependent origination as a result of karma that come in and out of existence through causes and conditions. So there's no need for there to be a supreme creator deity. And all that's one thing that all Buddhists have in common is we reject the idea that there's a supreme creator God. As well, I am completely apathetic in regards to if there's small g gods out there. Um, I don't believe in a higher power, but I do believe in an inner power. I believe that all spirituality is psychosomatic.
I love that. I actually like I love Eastern philosophy, and I like have been trying. Uh, I have a friend Cedar, who is
I
also
know Cedar.
Buddhist. You know Cedar? Yeah, and
Yeah.
Cedar is
I like
very, very
cedar.
knowledgeable, and yeah, Cedar helps me understand the Eastern philosophy a lot more, and I just love to hear about it. And like, I haven't quite yet like made any conclusions yet because I just don't feel like I know enough. But I love that like psychosomatic, like how you said it. That makes a lot of sense to me, and I feel like the rules of karma, whether or not like if I believe them in them or not, like I think that they do like have use, like I don't know, it's just it's kind of like if you do good, like you kind of get good back in ways, and it's just good like psychologically, if anything, so
Well, I do feel the need to correct you just a
sure,
bit,
yeah,
Penny.
absolutely.
The I think a lot of people have a lot of different understandings of karma because, firstly, like other major world spiritual traditions, Buddhism, they have different takes depending on what sect we're talking about. But Buddhism aside, a big part of the reason why people think of karma as cosmic justice in the West is actually because of Hinduism. There's many more Hindus on Earth, and so their version of karma is the cosmic justice. And
Gotcha.
The Jain version of karma is it's very strange. It's not like the Buddhist or the Hindu version. If you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to look it up. But each one of these different Dharma, quote unquote, religions has a different understanding of how karma works. The Buddhist perspective is karma is like a force of nature. It good things and bad things happen to good and bad people respectively. Sometimes people can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's because the causes and conditions for those things were met that it happened. It's a totally impersonal thing. Karma isn't I'm trying to think of a way on how to describe it, but essentially, the mystical aspect of karma that a lot of people don't understand is it's very much like the butterfly effect. When we talk about how
Okay.
a lot of how we don't we talked when. Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts and I'm speaking faster than I can talk. So if I was to say a snowball could go down a mountain and eventually turn into an avalanche, or a rippling droplet could turn into a tidal wave through causes and conditions of it being met, that's the mystical aspect of karma. It's when things outside of our human grasp can imagine are working in nature around us. That's the best way I would describe it. That's the mystical aspect of karma. It's not the cosmic justice that people make it out to be.
Yeah, like a like in like some pagan like religions, like a primordial, they'll call like chaos, for instance, kind of like, okay, like that's just how I'm kind of relating it in my head, I think, and that makes a lot more sense to me. So it's I was picturing it more of the like Hindu type of karma, but that makes okay.
Mhm.
I
Well,
like that.
where the divide within the Buddhist community is how are some Buddhists believe that their actions within their life can affect their next one, because some Buddhists believe in the transmigration of consciousness. Um, if I was going to believe in an afterlife, that would be the only one that I would find plausible. Uh,
Right.
Simultaneously, the Buddha encouraged his disciples, if you want to be free from samsara, if you want to be free from all suffering, attain nirvana, then the only way to do that is to eliminate your desires, and that would include the desire for rebirth. So the Buddha actually encouraged his disciples not to get hung up on the idea of getting reincarnated and to focus on their meditation, their studies, and just focus on the life that they were living and not their next life.
That's so like asceticism and like the the ideas of everything is nothing, or like nothing is everything, and the Eastern thought is still like it's such a mystery to me, but I love like it being explained to me. So thank you so much. Like I really like, and don't feel like hesitant or anything to ever correct me. I usually just like what I do is I try to like explain back like my understanding. And then that's why uh I actually invite like corrections. So like if I'm ever wrong about something, push me aside and say, nah, you got this wrong, Benny.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
And
and
if
I'm
you,
the same way.
I was just gonna
Because
say, if you
I'm
guys,
learning all this. You know that, Robin. Like you are teaching me so much. I just saw somebody say that they really like that they never know like what they're going to learn on my show, and that is because I like learning, and I didn't learn these things as a Christian. I was dissuaded from learning anything outside of Christianity. I've talked about this before. It wasn't by my parents. My parents did not get into Christianity like I did, but I had abandonment issues because my parents were my aunt and uncle. I was abandoned by my mother. And because of it, I was so afraid that I would be abandoned by the God if I even looked astray anywhere. So I chose to not learn anything outside of Christianity for out of fear. And I think that harmed me. So I have friends who are pagans, who are witches, who are Jewish, who are Buddhists, who are Hindu, and I love it. And I love learning from them all the things that I never learned. And also, you'll notice that Dark Crystal doesn't come out with any of them. Okay, like I never have to yell at them. They're not up here judging me and telling me I'm wrong for my beliefs. They're not up here telling me I have to think like them. And that's the big difference. You know what I mean? Robin shares with me all the time. Robin doesn't think like I have to think exactly. And I also don't think Robin has to think like me. That's why we get along.
my
I'm sorry,
boyfriend is a
Robin.
straight
You
up,
had more to
no,
say.
you're good. Yeah, you're good. My boyfriend's a straight up nihilist, and him and I go round and round with philosophy. You guys don't even know. But if there is an occasion in the future in which you need your residential Buddhist, holla at your girl. I will be there. And I'm also a Philbra. I am a Philbro's nightmare because I will destroy their Western philosophy with my Eastern philosophy.
Yes, I love it. I love
That's
learning it.
really cool.
I love learning philosophy and different aspects about it. I need people. I know when I go live, I get exhausted when the Phil Bros come. Like I try to go toe to toe, but then I'm like, I can't. I don't have the energy.
Benny, for now on, tell them to come to my show. I ever since I have started running this topic, I can't get any of them to come up on my show, and I honestly want to learn. That's why I'm asking the question because I realize, I'm pretty stubborn about my no Philbro rule, and I think that that's ignorant of me because I don't know enough about philosophy. So why shouldn't I listen to it? What's it going to hurt me?
Yeah, one of them that I do have down is like refuting like Aquinas. I can refute Aquinas pretty well. That is kind of Orthodox slash Catholic. They call it
Yeah,
Thomist, like
yeah,
philosophy, and basically it's just special pleading, uh, which
yeah,
is it goes off the prime mover. Like if there's, and also like if you can imagine a greater God, then basically that proves that God exists. But that's also special
yeah.
pleading because you could just like you're defining a God into existence, basically. So you could
Hey,
just define
Hospital
an even
Sushi.
greater God. Yep.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good.
Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
26.
And are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
Yes, I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian for probably like 15 years or so.
That's cool. Hospital Sushi. I'm gonna make a confession to you right now. Okay. For some reason, I lose my temper too much when I talk to people on this app. And today I'm going to try really hard to not lose my temper with you. I'm going to like try to be cognitive of it. And so, which topic would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk about was the world perfect before the fall? What is your philosophy on God, or what does Christianity have to offer women?
I guess we can do the last one. My answer would probably be it offers women the same thing that it offers all of humanity. I don't think it really offers women something different than it offers men, if that is kind of implied in the question at all.
Do you think that Christianity offers men more?
Um, Not really, no.
Do you think that there might be reasons why I think it does?
Probably, since you're asking the question.
Can you think of any reasons I might think that it offers men something more than it offers women?
You might try and use a verse to say that men are worth more in scripture. Under the old covenant, for example, you might say that because Paul teaches women are not to be pastors, that they are less than men for some reason. Those are just two off the top of my head that I can imagine you would try and argue, although I would disagree with both of
Those are
those.
both really good reasons, and they're both true. But what if I told you it's because from page one to the last page of the Bible, that God shows me by his actions that he thinks less of women than he does of men? What if I told you that God created evil and then he blamed it on a woman? What if I told you that both men and women were deceived in the Garden of Eden at the exact same time, and yet we only say women were deceived? What if I told you that the 12 tribes of Israel took a concubine and cut her body into 12 pieces and sent her out as a war cry because women were just property? What if I told you that women are listed as property in the 10 Commandments? Do you think that those are all reasons why I might think that Christianity offers more to men than it does women?
I definitely believe that those are reasons you think that, although I would have lots of responses and questions for every single thing that you just listed because I disagree with all of them.
Do you think that any religion I have to sit there and argue every single thing like that is really offering me anything?
Well, I mean, first of all, you are not, as a human, going to be able to understand everything in Scripture. We know that. It tells us. So, yeah, I mean, I have no problem with wrestling with your beliefs in the Scripture. I do that myself as a Christian currently, and I don't think that's a problem. I actually think it's a good thing.
Do you think a perfect God would send a message that was so confusing that the people he was trying to send that message to wouldn't be able to understand it?
Are you saying that you're confused today, or are you referring to people throughout Scripture?
No, I'm saying you said that I couldn't understand the scriptures because of my little human brain. And I'm saying that if a God is trying to send me a message and he's perfect, he would be able to send me that message. I wouldn't be confused because I'm human.
Yeah, I think he can send you a message without you understanding God in his entirety. I don't think
So
that's a
telling
problem.
people that they can't understand the Bible because they're just human is actually a very poor argument.
I didn't make a blanket statement about the Bible as a whole. I'm saying there's things throughout Scripture that we can't have full understanding of. That's what the Scripture tells us. I was
I
referring to
wouldn't
that.
have to fight every single page of the Bible in order to see myself in it if God was perfect and all loving and he wanted me to know that.
So I guess let me ask you this. Let's back up a little bit. If there is a God that does exist, do you think that you should know as much as he knows and understand all of his ways?
And no, I shouldn't. I should know
Okay, well, there you go.
what he wants me to know.
That's exactly right.
And so if he has a message for me, every human being would understand it. The message, if
What?
he's perfect, all loving, and he has a goal, and the goal is that as many people come to him as humanly possible, then being perfect, all loving, and all good, he'd be able to give us all that message equally. We would all understand it, it would be clear, and we would know the message. But we don't.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
it'd be
if
cruel otherwise, wouldn't it? Like, why wouldn't that be cruel to confuse?
if that's your main contention, then you kind of finally made it clear.
I didn't say that was my main contention. I'm taking every time you give an argument, I'm responding to the actual thing you say. And so far, you just keep giving a new argument. You don't come back and refute whatever you said before. So that I've never said any of these are my main argument. I'm showing you that as a woman, if an all-knowing, all-loving, good God wanted to show me that he loved me as much as he loves men, it would have been clear. I would not have to argue with you on every point throughout the Bible.
I don't think you would argue with me on every point throughout the Bible. I think there's a lot of them.
You have no idea how many arguments I can bring up. I am the host of a podcast called Anti-Sermons, where I am going through the Bible chronologically and methodically, giving every woman in the Bible a sermon. It's never been done before because 95% of the names in the Bible are men. Most of the women in the Bible go unnamed because this is written by men, to men, for men. And so, yes, I can continue to go on and on and on to show you that the God of this Bible does not love or value women the same as he does men.
So, are you associating value with an office, for example, right? Women cannot hold the office of being a pastor. So do you think that that makes them less valuable?
I think everything this Bible says shows me I'm less valuable from page 1 to the end. From the
So wait, is
very
your answer to my
beginning,
question yes?
that's one of the reasons.
Okay, so you do assign value to whether or not you can
There's many different
be in a
ways I
role.
assign value here, okay? Value can mean monetarily, I am not worth the same in this. Value can mean literally I'm listed as property in the 10 Commandments because the 10 Commandments are written to men, not to women. Okay, so that's why I'm property in the 10 Commandments.
Wait, hold on.
Value means so many things that if you just want to define it any way you can define it, I am not valued the same in the Bible.
Okay, so I guess let me ask it a different way. If a man can do something that a woman can't, does that mean the woman is less valuable?
It can in the Bible. It might mean that.
It might what would determine that for you? You said might. What determines it?
Like for instance, a lot of times men try to tell me that the reason men were valued more in the Bible was because they were physically able to lift more than women.
I never said that, so it's kind of not worth talking about.
I didn't say you did. You asked me why. You literally
didn't
asked me why. And I'm telling you. So, I'm very sorry.
What's the qualification for whether or not value can be determined based on an office that's being held, or if a specific sex can do something and the other gender can't? You said sometimes it determines it. It might. I'm asking for your qualification for that.
Right. I'm actually not sure.
You told me
it would
what
be a case-by-case basis.
Guys say about.
It'll be a case-by-case basis. I'm not sure what my qualifications would be for that. I just don't. I don't know that I can live on an absolute on that. I don't know. It would be a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
I would have to.
So there's no foundation or standard for what you believe. It's kind of just on a whim.
Oh, I have a foundation for why I believe this. I've already fucking told you. I don't know why you're saying that. I told you that from the very beginning.
What's the foundation?
No, I told you the value, the determination of what value means in the situation. You're trying to get hung up on a little semantic here because you're upset that I said what I said. You've defended nothing that I've said. Why did women get blamed for being deceived when both of them were standing there and ate at the exact same time?
Because she's the one who presented the apple. I think the man was deceived too. I agree with you on that.
No, it wasn't an apple and she didn't present it. Nope, it wasn't an apple and she didn't present it.
I agree with you on this point. Why are you upset? I agree with you. They were both deceived.
Mm-hmm. So why did women throughout the entire Bible get blamed?
Well, show me where.
Why are women worth less for the monetary value? Why are women told not to teach?
They weren't. It was based on other things like age as well. So do you think an old person is worth less than a young person?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was based. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, you want to pull it up?
No, I'm saying it was. Excuse me. Listen to what I'm saying. Are you saying right now that women were not valued less than men?
In some cases they were, and in some cases women were valued more based on age.
No, it's actually
a younger woman was worth more than an older man, right?
No, you're wrong. No, all women were valued less than men. I'm sorry, Robin. Go ahead, because I'm gonna get mad because he's being obtuse. Robin, go ahead.
Hi, Hospital Sushi. I'm really hoping that the sushi is in Japan because if the sushi's not, I'm scared to eat it at the hospital, baby. Sorry if you hear any wind. I am outside.
I'm sorry. Could I say one thing real quick?
All right, good. Say it.
No. We don't interrupt women. We don't do that. Robin, please finish. That's rude.
Okay.
I'll just say it when she's done.
So, I want to run a couple questions by you. It's okay if you don't know the answers to them, and I want you to engage with this in good faith, please. Can you name a specific instance of any time in the Bible where a woman has had more than one husband?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. Can
Oh
you
wait,
name
actually,
a,
wait. No, maybe not. Maybe not technically.
okay. Do you know how difficult it was for women to own property in the Bible? And even then, are you aware that they were only able to own it for a limited period of time until it came into the possession of another male in their family?
No, I'm unaware.
Are you familiar with the history of how women were traded as property for marriages? They were bought. Are you familiar with that?
Somewhat, yes.
I mean, even to this day, uh, for anybody who's listening, that's why women take their husbands' last names. Um,
Can I
but
clarify the first question?
sure,
You asked about women having multiple husbands. Did you mean simultaneously or
yeah, like polygamy.
gotcha, okay.
Um, there are many examples in the Bible where women did not have the same rights that men did. When the when the covenant was announced and Moses gave his sermon on the mountain, there were no women there. They were not invited. They weren't invited to participate in that covenant. There are so many examples in the Bible where women had less rights, women could not own property, women were traded and bartered and sold like slaves. I think that you have I think you have your work cut out for you, Hospital Sushi, if you're going to try to make the case that the Bible in any way promotes equality for women.
Oh yeah, that's the question
I
I
want
was
to
gonna
go ahead
ask.
and go. I want to. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So in Leviticus, do you know how much a woman is valued at in her prime?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Um,
read you the. I'll read you the verses here. The Lord spoke to
Thank you,
Moses, saying,
Crystal.
"Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, when a person makes an explicit vow to the Lord concerning the equivalent for a human being, the equivalent for a male shall be from 20 to 60 years of age. The equivalent shall be 50 shekels of silver by the sanctuary shekel. If the person is a female, the equivalent is 30 shekels." Oh, wait, we're valued less.
Right. So how much is an older man valued at?
Oh, they're less, but so is an older woman less than
Well,
that man.
that's what I'm asking you. So
Every
if
time it gets
wait,
less and less for the woman equally to the man.
okay,
You know that, right?
so
So if a man gets valued less, the woman his same age gets valued even lesser.
okay, so a woman is
The
not
women
objectively
are
valued
always
less than a man.
less.
No, not objectively.
They are valued less than the males of their equivalent age.
So they're not objectively worth less than males.
If you set the object as monetary
It's
value, then yes, objectively they are.
Then why is a younger female worth more than an older man if it is
He's being
objectively true?
pedantic by saying
No,
that
I'm not.
you can
It's
take the different age brackets and move them around and say some women are worth more than some men. Yes,
because
and
that's
all
true.
men are worth more than all women.
That's
Okay, of
incorrect.
their
That
same
contradicts what
age
you just
bracket.
said.
Of their same age bracket. You don't get to do apples and oranges, Hospital
Not
Sushi. It's
apples and
very
oranges. They're both males and both
disingenuous.
female the whole
It
time.
was. If you want to believe that that makes us equal throughout the whole Bible, that one little way that you just slanted this argument, then I feel sorry for you. I really do, because you're very dishonest with yourself and others. I'd hate to
And I'm
actually
not
be in
trying to
any
make that
kind of
point at
real
all.
relationship
I'm just
with you as a
disproving what you
friend
said.
or anything, because I would realize you're not an honest person. You cannot be honest with yourself. Robin,
So
what did you want to say?
can I respond to that?
Hold on one
No,
second.
Robin wanted to
I want
say something.
I'd
Well,
like
do
to
you know
make a
how
point.
responses go in conversations? That they occur whenever the person's done talking.
No, I know how I run my show, and I want Robin to respond. I asked Robin to take over because I was getting heated. So I'd like my friend Robin to take over. Go ahead, Robin.
Go ahead, Robin.
So, hospital, I think that from a
Hospital thinks he
mathematical
gave you
standpoint,
permission.
I think from a mathematical standpoint, if we're being factual, you would be correct. But if we were being
Thank you.
intellectually honest, I think that you are being pedantic on
Well, it's not.
purpose, frankly.
I'm not. My
Um,
point is just that you can't
Absolutely.
objectively
I
say
Absolutely.
think
that.
I
My
want
point.
to. I'd like to
I
make a.
said
I'd
of the
like to use
same
an
age
example.
bracket every freaking time.
Yeah, I
I'd
know,
like
but
to
you're
use an
you're trying to
example. If we
use
were
that to
hold
say
on,
that
hospital, I'm
women are
trying to make a point.
objectively worth less
Hold
than
on,
men
baby.
all the time.
I really did not want to have to do that. Please let the lady speak. Okay. If we were, let's use sports as an example. Sports has weight classes. It also has age groups that they allow
Where
people
did
to
you
compete in.
run to? Oh, he's back.
All right. If you're not going to put a featherweight and a heavyweight against each other, and the prizes for how much money that they would win are different. They have different championships. We are talking about different age groups of people, and you are trying to compare an elderly woman to a young man, or a young woman to an old man, and I don't think that that's intellectually honest, especially if you compare that
It's not.
the women on both sides are less money.
All
They're
I'm
being
doing.
and hold on, hospital. To add to that, let's just be real and let's address the elephant in the room. We're talking about buying fucking human beings. That's fucked.
That's
We
what I'm
shouldn't like.
That's
saying.
a whole nother conversation that I'm happy to get into. But the only reason I make that point is to disprove that men are objectively worth more than women. It's not true, because if that were the case, they would
Right.
always be worth more than women. And I showed you where they aren't.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you can be
So
mad
what
about
is
it all
the
you want.
husband price? What's the husband price?
I'm not sure. I would have to go and look it up specifically.
There's not one. There's not one because you didn't sell your boys off, okay? But what is the bride price? There
I
is
would also
one
have to go
because you
look that
sold
up.
your daughters. So that's not
Yeah, but you don't
30
have a
seconds.
problem with
There are
that.
so many things that
You
you
don't
are
have a problem
you
with
would
that.
have to. I do have a problem with that.
Not
Okay,
objectively.
and
It's
here's
just
the
your
thing.
preference.
I
So why are you so mad about other
What are
people's
you talking
preferences?
about? Wait, what are you talking about? This is about me. I'm sorry. Did you think this was about you? This is about me.
Can you show me why
Why
it's
would
objectively
me,
wrong
a
to sell women?
woman, what does Christianity have to offer me?
Well, that's
I'm the woman in this conversation. I'm so sorry. I thought that you were smarter than dirt. I didn't realize that that's how dumb you were. That you thought that me as a woman, I don't get an opinion on this. What are you talking about? This is
Our
not
math is better
this is
than
not
that.
grounding. This is what does Christianity have to offer me? This is not about objective truths. This is you coming up and saying, you know what Christianity has to offer you? And instead, what you did was you burden shift and you said, show me all the places in the Bible where it's not equal. And I told you we would be here for far too long if I had to list them all off. And I should not have to argue to find something worth worshiping this God if it had something to offer me. I can't believe that you changed that whole conversation and think that somehow I needed to ground it in something objective. If you have something to offer women, you'd be able to just tell me what it is instead of making me tell you all the things it doesn't offer me. Don't you get that?
Yeah, I was able to answer
You've
the
got to
question
get
pretty
me.
quickly when I first came up. I said, like, I think Christianity offers women a weird subservient purpose that they can choose, I guess, like that. That's about what I see what Christianity offers. And I feel like it should be easy to say that and not just be like, well, it offers what all humans get. You know, like I don't know. It just seemed
Right.
it was very intellectually dishonest and pedantic.
And absolutely, to sit there and say that some women are worth more than some men if you use the different age brackets. What are you talking about? Who does that? That would be like saying, you know, like a 1947 Chevy is worth the same price as a 2026 Ford. What are you talking about? You don't compare those two vehicles.
Right? Maybe that old
You know?
man
Oh my
that's
goodness.
worth less than that young lady. Uh, maybe he had the cure, like the cure for some disease in his head. You know, you don't know these things, and like the fact that like what Robin was saying, you know, we're even talking about like worth, like in monetary value is like
Right.
the real elephant in the room here. Like a loving God that would
Right.
want to offer humans anything would probably not have them trading each other for money.
Right. Oh my
Y'all
God.
don't eat that
Thank
hospital
you. That
sushi.
is so cute. And thank you, Port Agnostic, and thank you, Devil's Public Defender. Thank you guys. Those gifts are amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, I did pretty good keeping my cool, huh? Until the very end. Like I didn't cuss him out. I did. I think I did pretty good.
Yeah.
I think you did
Come
good.
on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Good job.
Because I'm really working on it. I listen to Yodi at night. Do you guys listen to Yodi?
I know of Yodi. I haven't had a chance to like listen to Yodi. I've been going to bed earlier and trying to be, yeah.
He's so good. If you can, like,
I
somehow
don't know. I'm gonna
record
have to
him or
check them
something.
out.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay, let
familiar
me
with
tell you
Yodi.
about Yodi. Okay, I'm going to tell you about Yodi. He's awesome. So this is what he'll do. He'll have a question up like, you know, what is free will or whatever. And then a lot of times before he starts having guests up, he'll tell us like how he thinks the conversations will go. So he'll go, I think I'll say what is free will, and they'll, you know, describe like free choice or whatever, and then I'll ask this. And then what he does is when he has the guests up, he asks them whatever the question is, and then while they're answering, he types up what the question is and what they answered on a spreadsheet. So he has all his guests. Hang on one second. I have to answer. He has all his guests' questions and answers on a spreadsheet. It's really cool. Okay. And he doesn't like, he never loses his cool or anything. So last night I was listening and he said, somebody give me like a topic. I kind of want to do one that's, you know, different. And so I want to talk more about was the world perfect before the fall. So he said, you know, he goes, I like that. I'm going to do that one. And shut up, Robin. He goes, all right, so was the Garden of Eden perfect, you know? And then the thing was that he was getting so frustrated because they were getting hung up on just the littlest things on that. That is so fucking cute. Thank you so much, Creative Camper. So they would like go, well, the God is the only one that's perfect or whatever. And so he would go, okay, are you using two different words for perfect? Like, or, you know, is like a being a different type of perfect than like an object or something like that? Well, yes. And then like later they would contradict themselves. And so he would go, oh, like, well, you contradicted yourself back here because you said God is the only thing that can be perfect. And so then he started getting kind of like, I'm kind of getting frustrated because we're getting hung up on just the smallest things. Like, I'm not even trying to debate them. I'm just asking the questions. And the reason why I asked the question is because if the world was perfect before the fall, then equality between men and women was perfection. And I want to know, should we be striving for perfection? Or should we be giving in to the curse?
You know, funnily enough, I think Rabbi Hannah was in here earlier. She would have been amazing yesterday. I'll message you about a conversation I had off of here at some point, Crystal, about your auntie sermon yesterday, because I talked to some other people and they told me some interesting things. Anyway, oh my God, where was I going with this? Oh,
Did I say
yes.
something wrong?
No.
I did?
No,
Oh,
not you. So
oh.
the equality between Adam and Eve. Eve was originally created to be Adam's Azair, his manager, his overseer, to make sure that he was doing his damn job. There was not originally supposed to be equality between them. She was supposed to be making sure he was doing his damn job. She was originally above him.
Okay, but not according to the text that we have right now, is what I'm saying. So there's always extra biblical text, and then there's the text that we have, right? So according
It's
to
the
what
Hebrew,
we
though.
have in scripture right now,
The helper
is it the
word
Hebrew or is it
intentionally.
Midrash?
It's from what I remember, it's
Ooh,
the Old Testament Hebrew. That
I'm
word
gonna have to
helper
talk to
was
her about it.
changed. That word helper was changed. It wasn't
Oh,
supposed to be helper. It was supposed to be Azair. That
mm.
Azair word, that's overseer. That's what that word means. Like, I'm your manager.
Hang on one second. The creative camper, I have not. Will you DM me that so I remember? I'm actually really excited. I just renewed my library card and I love all the books that you can get online to read for free or even listen to in audiobook. So I've been thinking of some books to read. So I'd love to check that out. It's an imagined story of Dinah, the only girl child of Jacob. Ooh, I would love to read that. That is interesting, Robin. I want to learn more about that now. See, I really love diving into these women. Like, I have learned so much. Like, I keep telling people this is one of my favorite things I learned. I learned that in the Ethiopian Bible, the women of the ark have names. Just not in the Hebrew Bible, but the Ethiopian Bible,
It's wild
they
to
do.
think about. It rewrites the Eve story because if Eve was made
Yeah.
to make sure that Adam wasn't lollygagging, that changes things. Well, that's part of the reason why she was punished. Like she she
Oh,
was
it
supposed to be over him
does.
and was stripped from that status. You know, that's part of what makes it the misogynistic tale that it is. Because I'm a big believer that a huge message to Genesis is it's the story of how at one point there was equality, perhaps even matriarchy, and that was subdued by patriarchy. Like I think that that's one of the biggest
Oh,
narratives
I
of
believe that.
Genesis.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why that fits with some. Hang on one second. The creative camper. I don't know if you heard my auntie sermon. I'll get it recorded and put up on the podcast eventually. But I did an auntie sermon about Rachel's midwife. And I don't know if you heard that one, but I think that she was a prophet and she should have been called a prophet. And I bring scriptural backing for why I believe that. Like it's not just rhetoric. Yeah. Because according to scripture, she fulfills a prophet and she should have been called a prophet. She says before the baby's born, you are going to have a boy. And she does have a boy. And did you know that like 60 men are named prophets and there's only 5 women who are called prophets and they don't all get a name. One of them's not named in the Old Testament. And men get things wrong and continue to be called a prophet and revered after they get things wrong. But none of the women ever got anything wrong.
Funnily enough, I I've had to do my own thinking about that. Imagine if let's use Jeremiah. Jeremiah has prophecies that didn't come to pass. If we said Jeremiah is a false prophet, take that out of the Bible, how would that affect the New Testament? You know what I mean? Like
Ooh.
Right.
It's
I
weird
like
to
that.
think if we were like if we actually called out the people's prophecies that didn't come to pass. But as you know, because we were all once Christians, the apologetic is going to be, well, it just hasn't happened yet. Even though of these prophecies, a lot of the time had a specific time frame.
And the thing is, like, hi, by the way.
Hi.
But yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't really change when you look at the New Testament, right? And Jesus and everything. His apostles, they continuously don't believe, they continuously question, they continuously mess up. The women, not once are they like said to really mess up around him. And then they're the ones who are there when he supposedly like comes back. They're not going around questioning and asking and saying no and not believing. But
The
yeah,
only
let's talk
thing
about the men, right?
The only thing I might push back on what you just said, because I was really thinking about it, I guess the women, after they discovered the tomb, didn't tell anybody. But that's like
Well,
the only thing I can think of.
Mary Magdalene is actually apostle to the apostles.
Yes, she's in a lot of different texts believed to be the disciple that Jesus loved, but was intentionally omitted from the text because they found it really controversial.
Oh, I didn't know that. So like in John, like the beloved disciple is actually Mary Magdalene, but they okay.
Yes, and I talked about Mary Magdalene before. So she had her father was the head of Herod's treasury, and she also married the high priest. So she had a lot of status, and she was arguably the most wealthy woman in all of the Levant at that time. One of the many conspiracy theories I have is that I think part of the reason why Jesus was unalived, assuming he was a historical person, may have been because Mary was dipping into those funds and stealing from the treasury.
Why would you think that?
Yeah.
And why would he
I
get
would think
unalived?
I would think that because Jesus was a homosexual who, at various different times in the Bible, manipulated women into giving all of their money to him. And this was a repeat thing that he didn't just do with one woman. His most wealthy financial contributors to his ministry were women. And
Oh yeah,
um,
that's for sure.
with, with with Mary Magdalene and her name coming from the Tower of Magdalene, which was her family's claim to fame, and her family was very wealthy, and she's from that tower. Uh, I would think that if that's just my assumption, and that's just me assuming. I don't really have enough evidence to substantiate my claim, but what I can say is, it would make a lot of sense because there would be no way that Jesus' ministry would be able to acquire so much money to be able to buy super opulent perfume, super opulent oil. Where would he get that money?
Right.
Can I go back to something, Crystal?
Yeah, go back to it, Grana. Go ahead.
Okay. I know that the women told the men, because remember the old song? They found the tone and they found the tomb empty just the way that Mary said. And the binding sheaths they wrapped him in was such an empty shell. Remember that old BJ Thomas song?
Yeah.
Yep. So definitely, because he just pretty much put words to the Bible. So the women did tell the men, and the men went and found the tomb, and then they just didn't believe the women.
It's, I mean, even when you look at afterwards, Paul is not very, but pro women.
It's
But
not in Paul; it's in the Gospels.
oh, I know that, but I'm talking also further on. I mean, without women, I don't think Christianity would have like progressed the way it did, because even like Paul talks about Junia and then all of these women preachers who were actually, like, we know it was happening in houses. Potentially women were spreading the word. And so this whole idea of women not be like, it would not be what it is today if these women hadn't done what they did. So
Well,
it's
yeah, of
just
course. But
baffling.
you could
Back
say
to
that
Grana
about the men
Zana.
too, so. Yes.
Back to what you were saying, Xana, real quick. It's in John 21:2. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciples.
Yeah, exactly. And then they went, they didn't believe her, of course, because it's crazy, and they didn't believe
Because she's a
women.
woman.
Both of them. So they went and checked and then found him, and then it went on from there. But the women told the man. So, and then about what you were just saying, well, you could say that about anyone. If men hadn't been in the Bible, it wouldn't be what it was. Of course, but if men hadn't been responsible for writing the Bible, women wouldn't be so abused.
No, I don't think that's what they're saying, Granna. I think that they're saying that Jesus was a homosexual and he was using women to gain his power.
I don't
to
think
be
that's
who he
biblical.
was.
Yeah, I don't think that's biblical. I think that's
No. It's actually biblical that they were supporting him financially.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah,
That
but
is
not,
absolutely right.
There's no,
And that's
there's
and
biblical text
so
that
then
shows it.
Paul also goes on and starts using women too.
Oh yeah, definitely, because not
Right,
only
that's
did
what
they,
they're saying.
yeah, not only did they financially support him, but they brought him food, they brought them clothes, they did everything.
Right.
Like Susanna
Right.
in the
That's what we're
Bible, who I
saying.
was named
That's what we were saying.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
more sense then. All right, I gotta go, but
We
thank you
stayed
so
in those.
much. Sorry, go
All
ahead.
right, it was good talking. I was just gonna say, of course, men open up their houses too, but there's various examples in the Bible of women opening up their houses to Jesus and his disciples.
Well, technically, women
So,
didn't own houses, so
well, that's technically true, unless like they were a widow and it was like temporarily their property,
yeah,
but
it was
not.
temporarily. Right.
Yeah, but I don't mean it like their houses as in it's their property. I'm just saying like they would invite these people in.
Women could own houses. Yes, women could own houses. That sometimes when we say these things, we need to look at that because we are lied to. I talked to you guys about this in another sermon that women can have jobs or authority or this or that. That's just actually not true. Okay. Was it uncommon? Maybe it's not every woman, whatever, but there were women who owned houses. Like Zelophehad's daughter in Numbers 27, 1-11. The capable wife in Proverbs 31:16 says she considers a field and buys it. She buys property. She owns her own business. She works like a slave, but she owns property.
What about the New
There's
Testament?
Lydia, and Lydia is in Acts. She appears to host a church in her home, it says in Acts. So women could own property and women did open their homes.
I was told that they absolutely couldn't own, like, pretty much like the U.S., for many years, women couldn't own anything, Wow.
Thank you, Creative Camper. But I love you. You are just amazing, by the way. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but love you.
All right. Well, I guess to go, but I'm still listening. Thank you for helping me.
Do you want to come back up? No problem. Thanks for sharing that with us, Granna. Have a great day. Okay, you didn't. If you want to come back up, Creative, you're welcome back up. If you don't, that's okay too.
I wasn't expecting to say that hobosexual was gonna ruffle feathers.
I went back to your
Christians,
I
though.
checked that I had sent the message with the book because my ADHD, and I'm like, maybe I just typed it out and didn't actually send it. And then I pressed the wrong button to get myself back, which is why I was saying like, I just booted myself.
I was like, you can come back. No, I find these conversations so interesting. Hey, Emma, how are you today?
I am better. Thank you for asking. Hello, everyone. Hello, my angel. How
Hello.
are you guys?
It's so good to see you.
I need more coffee. But otherwise, I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Hello, Creative, my angel. How are you?
She's busy creating, apparently.
I'm gonna say hi to Emma. Hello. I don't know if we've ever met Emma. Hi, I'm Benny.
Oh, nice to meet you, Benny.
It's nice to meet you. It's a pleasure.
Emma's our friend from Sweden.
Yes. Hi, Emma, by the way.
Hey, how are you, my angel?
Oh, I have a question, though. Emma's not speaking right now, or...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Emma's saying, "How are you?"
Oh, because I can't hear her for some reason. Hi, I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
that's
I
weird.
cannot hear Emma talking.
Can you hear
That's
me now?
weird. TikTok has been glitching.
Yeah, it's probably just a
No,
TikTok glitch, Emma.
Creative can't hear you for some reason, Emma. But it's only you for some reason. It's weird.
I'll try to go and come back to see if...
Okay, let me drop you down and I'll pull you back up.
Funnily
Okay,
enough,
request back up.
I was just gonna say I was having issues earlier, and then when I joined, they all fixed. So maybe that's all it needs. Maybe she just has to come back up.
Yeah. Okay, now I'll invite you.
So I thought you guys would enjoy this. I saw a funny meme the other day, and it said, "I'm clinically undepressed, and I'm thinking about beginning it all."
I saw this guy do a video and he says, "Don't let anybody talk you out of investing $15 into doing your little project. That's going to be the best $40 you've ever spent." That's, that's me starting a new project every freaking day somewhere. It's never going to be just $15, is it?
Oh my goodness.
Do you
My
ever listen
angel.
to
Okay. Creative can hear you now.
Yes, I can hear everyone. It was just so weird. I was like, wait, are we just looking at the screen and not... Sorry. Hi, Emma. How are you?
I am better. Thank you for asking. How are you, my angel?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm actually just back from Paris. I went to Paris and met up with someone I've met through TikTok as a friend, and it was lovely. I spent a long 24 hours there, so really nice.
Mm-hmm.
They told me that you guys saw each other, and I was like, you're so lucky. That's so cool. I love you both, so that's really awesome.
It was really, really great. I loved it, and I can't wait to see them again. It was just wonderful.
That's really cool. And to meet in such a cool city, too.
Yep. We had a lovely time. Lovely time.
I can barely wait until Creative is coming to Sweden.
Definitely going to organize that as well. I have so many people to go see now. I have Ensign that I want to visit when I go to Greece, and he's already helped me out to figure out where I'd like places to go and everything. And then Emma, and once I get back to the US, I'll have lots of people to see as well. So it's really nice.
That's really cool. Well, you guys, I think that I'm going to wind... What, Robin? Go ahead. Because I'll close it down if you don't talk. You better talk.
I witnessed something really funny the other day. This is not about you, Emma. I don't want you to think that. Only because I'm talking about the thing I'm going to talk about is how sometimes people from other languages will say something, and it'll make you think about what you just heard in English. Does this ever happen to you, to any of the English speakers on the panel? I'm assuming.
Like what?
Okay, I'll give you an
Like you'll
example.
hear them say
So,
something. Okay, yeah, give me an
oh,
example.
I witnessed this the other day and it blew my mind. It made me start thinking about stuff. So, this woman's card, the tap for the machine was just broken, so she was gonna have to swipe. And so she taps her card, right, and it kept saying decline. And the lady was like, "Hey, your card's being declined." And the other woman said, "How to incline?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. Why do we call it decline? And if it's accepted, why is it not called incline?" I started thinking, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah,
just go down this rabbit hole of like, why do we call things
yeah,
what we
that's
call
true.
them?
That's really what I like
That's true.
to do with people who have like different languages is, and it's a really fun kind of game to do it. People immediately hook onto it. It's like talking about what noises animals make in your language, because
Oh yeah.
they're all different, and you're like, sometimes the noise
That
is
was
like,
so wild when I learned that. I was like, what do you mean a dog goes wah 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 where you come from? Dogs don't go wah
The
wah wah.
cow, the cow goes shazoo.
no, but that game and like trying to pick up on like how do we come up with such different things for animal noises, and it's just such a fun game, and it immediately kind of like links things. I just love doing it with people, like when you have different languages around you. It's just such a cool kind of, yeah, and you're figuring out like why did we say that, and why is like the Japanese cat goes nyan nyan nyan.
Emma, what does a dog sound like where you're from?
Woof, woof, woof.
Okay,
That's
that's what it
good,
sounds
yeah.
like to me too.
You know what I
like
don't
that.
understand?
That
What
works.
dog's going bow wow? What dog's going bow wow? I don't know any.
A Blues Brother dog. Bow wow wow. I don't know.
No. You know, an elephant does go flop. That is the sound an elephant makes.
The Greek cat says, put more charcoal on the ground. I had a dog who said, bork, bork, bork. You guys, I had a parakeet that used to bark like my dog because I had a little Pekingese poodle mix. So it was a little tiny dog, and she barked all the time. If somebody came to the door, if somebody was walking outside, she'd start barking. And eventually the parakeet started barking just like her. And one time I had friends over, and they were like, where is your dog? And I said, oh, I'm sorry, that's actually my parakeet. And they thought I was like picking on them. And I'm like, no, I'm totally serious right now. That's my parakeet. So I had a parakeet who could bark like a dog. I love parakeets. I have cats right now, or I'd have birds. I love birds. Birds are awesome.
My daughter loves birds. Like she knows about them and everything, recognizes them. But for the longest time, she had an absolute fear if a bird would come close to her. So we didn't know this till she didn't know it either till we went to this bird sanctuary place, or like, and there's a exhibit you can walk through, and there's these like little bird. They're kind of like parakeets. They're not parakeets. And you have this little pot of whatever they like to eat. So they'll obviously fly up and land on you and eat from the little thingy. And my daughter had her little thingy. The birds fly up. She dropped it and ran out of it screaming. Which I was like, wait,
Aww.
you love birds, but you don't want them to come near you. But yeah, I was like, okay, interesting.
Aww.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Hey, Ensign, welcome to the show. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
57.
Okay, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
I'm an Orthodox Christian, yes.
Okay, and what are your preferred pronouns? He, him, she, her, or they, them?
Can I be a giant spaghetti monster? I'm joking. I'm a he.
Oh, we've met before. You're my friend. I always forget. I have a very bad memory. You are the one who believes in the giant spaghetti monster.
Mm,
You're
how you
actually
know? How
like
can you know?
you actually like ordained?
No, heaven forbid. You know, I'm not worthy to become a priest.
Okay.
I just came inside to say to put to creative peekaboo.
Hello,
And
my dear friend.
Emma, you sexy beast, bork, bork, bork. How are you?
Oh, Ensign, hello.
Where have you guys been? I thought you were abducted by aliens or something.
Well, I am still waiting to be kidnapped by aliens. I want to be kidnapped by them.
Maybe you'll be
Oh,
raptured by
Emma
the
wants to get
angels.
probed. Emma's a freak, y'all.
Yeah.
I've just not been on panel as much, but I've been around. Yeah.
Ma chérie, ça va?
Ça
How's
va
the young
bien.
one?
J'étais à Paris hier et avant-hier.
À Paris?
Yes, à
Ooh,
Paris.
magnifique. How's the
Wouldn't
young
it be
one?
wild if the aliens look like Teletubbies? Could you imagine getting probed by the Teletubbies? That'd be wild.
Would be so
I'm sure there's a whole
scary.
subreddit of people who have that fetish, Robin. Oh my god. I did not ever know what's going to happen on my show, you guys. We have gone from learning about, some of the deepest theological beliefs and spiritual beliefs today to now being probed by Teletubbies. That's where things go on my show, okay?
All
Which I
right.
think is amazing.
Excuse me, what did this Teletubbies come from?
It's an American children's show. Emma, are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I am familiar with Teletubbies, absolutely, but
You didn't
it's
know that
not.
they're aliens?
I don't know if they are aliens. I have no idea.
Oh, canonically in the show they are.
Uh-huh. But it's
Yeah,
not them
that was
that
my
I'm
joke.
waiting for.
To be honest,
What do you wait?
the scariest aliens are, the Dalek. Exterminate, exterminate.
Yes.
I'm gonna vanquish you with my plunger of
Exterminate.
doom.
I'm more afraid of the Borg myself.
Oh, yeah.
I want the
Actually,
Yautja to come and take me away.
I go outside and just in case they've got any kind of advanced listening devices, because I'm thinking they might. I think that they'll be able to hear us before they'll be able to reach us with a spaceship, because that's how sound waves work and stuff. So I like to go outside and let them know, hey, I'm right here. I volunteer. Come and take me. I'm ready. And I've, told my family pretty much that I would volunteer if they asked if anybody wanted to get off this planet.
Yeah, I have told them, me too, absolutely. But my mom thinks that I am crazy, and she have told me, and my big sis also, not to go into a spaceship because they think that they are going to make me crazy. But I don't think so.
actually, if I ever get
It just
abducted
couldn't
by
be much
aliens,
worse.
if I ever get abducted by aliens, they're gonna return me to sender. They're not gonna be able to handle me.
Ensign will be telling them about the Greek Orthodox and the church fathers endlessly.
I'm gonna convert Mimbari Prime. You know what I mean? The whole, entire universe is gonna be Orthodox. We're gonna do a crusade to take back, the galaxy.
Yeah, but you need to be careful, my friend, so they don't eat you.
It's okay. We're gonna have a Swedish chef. He's gonna feed them meatballs.
Ensign, I have a question now. If you convert the entire universe, will the icons made on other planets be valid or or invalid?
Can you imagine coming back with an icon of Christ, as a cone head?
Oh my goodness. Yesterday, where was it? I can't remember where in Paris. Yes, it was like near a church. They had like a picture. I think this was the whitest white Jesus I've ever seen. Jesus was like as pale as an Irish person and blue eyes and blonde locks. You could not, that was the whitest white Jesus I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think that somewhere out there on the interwebs we could find an albino Jesus? I bet you there is. I bet you there's an albino Jesus out there. Oh my gosh.
To be honest, for us, normatively, the color of the Lord, matters not. It's like trying to say, I got a beautiful, present, but it's not like the package because it's recycled paper. It matters not. If you go to India, you will see a Jesus that resembles Siddhartha Gautama. If you go to China, he will look, predominantly Chinese. In Japan, it looks like the Japanese people, in Tahiti or, Melanesia, Polynesia, it's like the Maori. The package does not matter. It matters a lot in the West because they have this idea that their idea of Christianity is superior to the barbarism, quote unquote, of the unbelievers, which is not actually the phronima of us. I'd like to say that for the point. A true Christ, the Christ of the scriptures, did not force himself on anyone. So that's my idea. So he wants to have blue eyes, black eyes, or ashy wool hair, or be like the Bee Gees. I don't care. To be honest, the message is that's important. Adios, Ernesto Logan. How are you?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and my non binary friends, it is that time of day that I am hungry and want to go eat lunch. So, and I also need to record my podcast and get one edited and get one put up online so that I can get caught up because you guys want to hear more episodes. So, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I want to thank everybody for being here. Benny, thank you so much for joining me. It was so good to see you.
You too.
Let's talk more and hang out more.
I know.
Robin, I love you as always. You are one of my favorite sidekicks on my show, and you know that.
Don't eat the hospital sushi for lunch.
You are gonna abandon
Emma,
us. You're gonna abandon us over
Skip a step.
I'm gonna abandon everybody and go eat some food. You guys, make sure you listen to my. Oh, before we leave, I'm gonna play you guys a song because right now somebody's live because he couldn't wait until I was finished. That would have been too nice of him. I want you guys to go after we're done here and raid my friend Joel Reads Bible. But to celebrate what today is, we're going to play his song that I wrote for him. Hey. Hump day, dump day. Dump that Bible, y'all.
Come here, big boy. I've got some news. Is that special day of the week? It's for the thirsty, not the meek. Hump day, dump day, diddly diddly dump day. Hump listen up. It's hump day, dump day, diddly diddly dump day. Tossing out the Bible like it's trash from Sunday. Genesis to Revelation, yeah, I'm done playing dumb. Hey, memorizing verses, that's a vapid skill, babe. Flipping through Leviticus, it's smelling like a sunset. Call it liberation, I'm about to make the jump. Hey, hump day, dump day, diddly diddly dump day, hump day. I got the hump, diddly diddly dump day.
All right, y'all, go raid Joel. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, TikTok. I'll see you.
Heard something way worse than what we fucking talk about.
Baby, is it a bad thing that I feel like I'm pregnant?
Well, I know for damn sure I didn't get you pregnant.
Like, my stomach is legitly, look.
Although I want
Baby,
to.
look. My stomach is legitly rounding out like I am.
Like I said, although I want to. How many times am I supposed to say it?